Purpose cannot grow where authenticity is absent. And when you are performing, you are not being authentically you. Regardless of where you are right now, regardless of what you're going through, what you've been through, how many wounds you have that are bleeding, purpose cannot grow where authenticity is absent. So you want your purpose to be revealed? Be authentic and present in the moment, because presence is where God develops you. Hey, it's your girl Dorcas, and welcome back to the Dorcas Pittman Podcast, where I am on this journey of empowering her to drop the cape and heal for real. You know, this is the space where courage, clarity, and strategy meets real healing. So today's episode is all about purpose and perfectionism, because I want to challenge this belief that purpose requires us to be perfect. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. In fact, perfectionism, it keeps us in a space of performing instead of being present, instead of just being, instead of sitting with who God has created you to be. And the fact that true purpose is only cultivated in being present daily, the daily obedience, the daily self-awareness, and the daily surrendering to God. When we stay present with ourselves, we create a space for God to develop what He already placed within us. So as we go throughout this conversation, I want you to understand that purpose is never revealed through the pressure that we put on ourselves to be perfect. It is actually nurtured through presence. So we have to choose to be present in our lives, present with who we are in the moment, present with the journey that God is taking us on, instead of constantly chasing this idea that purpose can only be acquired when you're perfect. You see, just like so many other people out there, I oftentimes wonder what my purpose on this earth was. And knowing my story and how I often saw myself as damaged goods because of all of the trauma that I experienced. So here I was navigating life, wondering what my purpose was while chasing perfectionism, chasing who I thought I needed to be in order to be seen, in order to be heard, and in order for any purpose that I may have to be fulfilled. But it wasn't until I stopped pretending or stopped chasing something that wasn't supposed to be that my purpose began to be revealed to me. As long as I was pretending to be perfect or chasing after perfection or just always living ahead, always living in the future of if I get to this point, then if I get to that point, then if I become this, then. And that was me chasing perfectionism. That was me thinking that who I wasn't enough to fulfill any type of purpose that I had on this earth. And so this thing called purpose that we're all born with, so many people they question it. They don't know what it is. It keeps them up at night. But there's this truth that I want to make clear, is that so many people are out there chasing perfectionism. In their journey of chasing perfectionism, they're actually delaying their purpose. They're delaying God revealing their true purpose to them. And while they're out there chasing this perfectionism by telling themselves, oh, when I heal more, when I grow more, when I'm more disciplined, when I get it right, then I will fully walk in purpose. But the thing about it is, purpose never waits for you to be perfect. Purpose waits for you to be present. It waits for our presence. Once I stopped chasing perfectionism, once I stopped wearing the mask and started this journey of being present with me, being present in the moment and allowing God to do the work within me in the present, that is when my true purpose started to be revealed. That is when I began to see me, see who I was becoming, see who God created me to be. You see, perfectionism tells us we have to perform, tells us that we have to perform in order to fulfill a purpose. But when you are present in the moment, you become an active participant in the purpose, not performing. Because when you perform, you're being something that you are not. Actors and actresses perform. But when you are present in the moment, in who you are, no matter what that looks like, that is when God is able to do the inner work and reveal the inner things that are going on so that your God-given purpose can be fulfilled. So you have to be present. You have to be a present participant in this journey of purpose, in you fulfilling your purpose. And God does his most transformative work when we are fully here. Not when we are trying to be flawless, not when we're trying to look a certain way, not when we're trying to be everything society and the world tells us we need to be in order to become. God is not going to do anything with that because you're telling him, oh God, I don't need any help. I'm perfect. I don't need any work. But if you really want God to transform you, then you have to be here. You have to be fully present and you have to be an active participant in the present. You have to be an active participant in the present. In 2019, I made the decision to begin this healing journey and I had to be present in the moment. I had to sit with who I was at that moment, with all of my open wounds, with all of the tears, everything, all of the brokenness. I had to be present in that moment with it and choose daily to be present and an active participant in the healing, in the transformation. And it was on the journey of being an active participant that my purpose, my true purpose, began to be revealed to me. That is when it was revealed. So I want you to understand that when we marry purpose to perfection, we create unnecessary pressure that was never supposed to be there. We start performing instead of being. We chase improvement instead of intimacy. And in the process, we disconnect from the very place where purpose is actually developed, and that is the presence. So purpose does not require perfection. It requires your presence. It requires your presence. That's what it requires. And it is nurtured through your surrenderance. Your daily choice to surrender to God's will for your life. Not what we think it should be, not what we think it should look like. It is our daily choice to surrender that nurtures our purpose. And you can't do that performing and chasing perfection. That can only be accomplished through you being present in the moment. When you are present in the moment. And when we are consistently present, emotionally, spiritually, and honestly, and being honest with ourselves, we give God room to do the work. We give God room to refine us. We give God room to do what he needs to do within us so that we can be equipped to fulfill the purpose that was put on the inside of us when God told us to exist. When God told us to exist. And here's the thing. Refinement is not the same as perfection. It's not the same as perfection. Refinement is God fine-tuning you. That's what it is. And even when something is refined, it is not perfect. It still may have some kinks and quirks. It still may have some flaws. So when God refines us, it is not for us to be perfect because God can't use perfectionism. He can't use anything that's perfect. Yes, we are made perfect in his image, but he did not make us perfect to be perfect. Because when we are perfect, we don't need God. There's no room for growth in perfection. There's no room for us to go from glory to glory in perfection. There's no test in perfection. There's no transformation in perfection. And our purpose is fulfilled through all of that. It's fulfilled through all of that. God doesn't need a flawless version of us to fulfill our calling. No. No. The Bible tells us the type of people he used. They were not perfect. And if they thought they were, God did not use them. Come on now. That is why he said, I don't call the qualified, I qualify the called. If you are called, he's going to qualify you, which means you are not already made perfect for the calling. He has to qualify you. How does he qualify you? He refines you through your daily surrendering to be present and an active participant. Purpose unfolds in real time. So you have to be present. It unfolds in real time. Each day that you are present, your purpose, present and doing the work by being an active participant, purpose unfolds. That's when it unfolds. Not when you present this polished version. This version that, oh, I have every I dotted and every T crossed. This version that doesn't have any insecurities or flaws. This version that pretends they haven't been through anything. This version that is painted as perfect. You see, 2 Corinthians 2:19 tells us that God's grace is sufficient for us. For his power is made perfect in our weaknesses. God's perfection is revealed in surrendered weaknesses, not polished performance. That part. That part. His perfection, God's perfection, is revealed in our surrendered weaknesses. Not in this polished performance that we are doing daily for the world. And that's what I want you to get. It's all because We have this idea that in order to fulfill our purpose, we have to be perfect. No, we just have to be present. And Psalms 46:10 tells us, be still and know that I am God. Stillness requires presence. Presence makes room for revelation. Purpose is revealed in that revelation. So get this. Perfectionism is a distraction disguised as discipline. Perfectionism, it feels productive. It looks like high standards. It sounds like excellence. It masquerades as responsibility. But often, perfectionism is fear of being seen while you're not put together. It's the fear of somebody seeing who you are underneath the mask, who you are when you don't have it all buttoned up and tightened up. That's all perfectionism is. And as long as perfectionism is your goal, you're going to keep wanting to change everything. You're going to keep overthinking. You're going to keep preparing, but you will rarely fully show up. You have to fully show up in order to fulfill God's given, the purpose that God already put on the inside of you. And the only way to fully show up is for God to refine you as you choose to be present and surrendered daily. Choose to be present by saying, I am here as I am, willing to grow. And not saying, I'll show up when no one sees my flaws. I'll show up when I don't have to worry about anybody seeing my brokenness, or worry about anybody criticizing me. Purpose cannot grow where authenticity is absent. And when you are performing, you are not being authentically you. Regardless of where you are right now, regardless of what you're going through, what you've been through, how many wounds you have that are bleeding, purpose cannot grow where authenticity is absent. So you want your purpose to be revealed? Be authentic and present in the moment. Because presence is where God develops you. Is where God develops you. Because when you are presently active, you begin to notice those patterns. You acknowledge your emotions. You allow God to correct you, and you receive instruction. All of those things are needed for growth. All of those things are needed for purpose to be nurtured. And when you are present and you are still and you are open and surrendered to God, He allows for those things to happen. It gives space for those things to happen. But when you are chasing perfection, you avoid making mistakes. You hide your weaknesses. You resist vulnerability. And you always try to manage the outcomes because you want that outcome to be perfect every time. You want to control everything. You don't think about God's will. You don't. God develops you in real time, in the conversations you have with Him daily, in the obedience, in the stretching, in the serving, even in the leading while still becoming. I told y'all, this journey of work, this season that I'm in right now, is me living everything out in real time. Me talking to you weekly on this podcast It is something that God is revealing to me, and or area of my life that I had to overcome. And while I've been becoming, while I'm becoming everything that Dorcas was birthed to be. I said it before and I'll say it again. I will leave this earth empty and full at the same time. Empty because will do everything that God put me on this earth to do, and full because I will become everything that God put me on this earth to become. How do I do that? By being present, by being obedient, and by being a daily active participant in God transforming me while I become. And I'm still leading, I'm still serving, I'm still showing up daily. I'm still, and my purpose is being rolled out in real time, because he's constantly revealing a deeper and more intimate purpose. Because I showed him that I was surrendered enough to be present. I showed him that I trust him enough to take off the mask and stop performing, and to just be present and be still and allow him to show me me. Show me all of me. Now, and then not only show me me, but position me to do the work. Give me the tools, the strategy, the community to do the work. My purpose unfold in me participating in the healing, in the transformation. It didn't unfold while I was trying to pretend that everything was polished and buttoned up. So I want you to understand that you can experience God's perfection while trying to prove yours. No, you cannot experience God's perfection while trying to prove to the world that you're perfect. And when you do it, it creates tension. When you marry purpose to perfection, you start performing for validation, even spiritually. That part. You perform for validation, even spiritually. Because you want the perfect plan, you want the perfect execution, you want the perfect image, you want the perfect outcome. You want, even in the spirit realm, to be polished and perfect. And it's creating this unnecessary tension that is not conducive for purpose, that is not conducive for growth. And God's perfection is only revealed through surrender, not control. When you control everything, what you need God for? You're telling God, oh God, I'm perfect, so I don't need your perfection. And you wonder why you're still questioning your purpose. Your deepest purpose may only be revealed when you're fully present, not when you're fully polished. Your deepest purpose may only be revealed not when you're fully polished, but when you're fully present. I told you, God is constantly revealing a deeper, more intimate purpose as I continue to walk this thing out, fully present, fully surrendered, and fully obedient. No matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how crazy it sounds or crazy it looks, I am fully present, I'm fully surrendered, and I'm fully obedient. Because God's perfection is fully revealed through all of that. Not me wanting, or not me trying to control everything. not me trying to control everything. So present people grow. Performers live a life of exhaustion. Present people, people who choose to be present, those are the people who grow. But if you want to know, if you want to remain exhausted, continue to perform. Because presence allows rest. Presence allows correction. Presence allows clarity. Presence allows God to refine you, to sift you, to stretch you, to mold you for your purpose. While performance breeds burnout, comparison, anxiety, and a constant self-evaluation. A constant self-critique. And that's exhausting. So listen, if you're always trying to be perfect, you'll miss the sacredness of being fully transformed through the perfection of God. You'll miss the sacredness, the I don't even have the words to describe the space or the experience of being fully transformed by God. It is something you literally have to experience. But you will only experience it by being present, not perfect. Purpose is not for those who are flawless, who have it all together, who are perfect. It's for those who are faithful, who have the faith enough to trust God in the present, who are faithful to surrendering, to being an active participant, because faith without works is dead. And that faithfulness, it requires your full attention that can only be given in the present. So we're going to stop performing and begin to be present. We're going to release that. So your affirmation this week is, I release perfection and choose presence. I trust God to be perfect. I trust God to perfect what He placed inside of me. I release perfection and choose presence. I trust God to perfect what He placed inside of me. So, as I close, I want you to understand that purpose was never assigned to a perfect version of you. It was entrusted to the present one. The one still learning, the one still healing, the one still becoming. Stop waiting to be flawless before you participate. God does not need your perfection. He needs your presence. And when you show up fully present, He will reveal His perfection through your presence. And while you are choosing to stop performing and begin to be a present participant, I want you to remember that you are her. You are healed, you are empowered, and you are restored. Until next week, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.